This episode is brought to you by our patron supporters. Today's patron of the day is Tim. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline.
I was making funny faces while putting on chapstick. I don't even think it'll pop up because I think it automatically switches to you when only you were talking. Yeah, by the way, patrons, Tim, thanks for pointing out. We did once again accidentally put it on the wrong YouTube channel. You know who never gets it on the wrong channel? Patrons, because they always get it over at Patreon, patreon.com/calltheline, where we will soon be launching LineCon Online Live. Because that's hard to say 5 times fast. LineCon Online Live. LineCon Online Live. LineCon Online Live.
Oh my God.
And we'll be talking about that more later. Welcome, everybody. Or maybe we'll talk about it more now. We announced it last week in the bonus show that LineCon Online Live will be starting soon. There is a slight delay because we didn't realize there were other conventions going both weekends. We were thinking about launching in July. No. So it will now be launched the second week of August. However, later today, if you're listening Friday morning, Matt and Arden will still be doing a Zoom event with our patrons. So if you want to go and chill with Matt Dillahunty and Arden Hart, that is still available to everybody on the $5 and up. However, the new LineCon Online Live, which will be awesome. It's basically going to be a little mini cons, little mini things. 3 sort of talk lectures from people that you've liked, as well as these group Q&As. Those are things that are going to be launching starting in August. There will be a new tier. Everybody on that tier or above will be able to attend both of those live, and then they will come out to patrons right away and then on a delay to other platforms. So that's a cool thing. That's coming up here soon. Anyway, it is July 11th, 2025, and I'm Jimmy Snow.
I'm Alyssa Loop.
That was seamless.
Was it?
Is there a large delay between us because of the internets, or did I do that?
I think because of the internets.
Oh, dang. That could be a problem. There was like, it was like a noticeable 3 seconds on my end.
Really?
But maybe it all comes together a little cleaner. That was better though. You're really there didn't seem to be too bad. Maybe we're okay.
I talked over you a little. And actually, maybe this will be a good thing since we allegedly talk over each other all the time.
I find the delays make it easier to talk over because especially people like us who have an instinct for filling dead air. If I stop talking, you don't say anything, my inclination to continue talking, because that's like what you have to do otherwise. I mean, I just think of Frank on that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're doing a podcast and he's munching on crackers and they just look at him and he just suddenly goes, dead air. Can't have that. Can't have dead air. It's the worst possible thing.
I'm so bad with it.
Who likes a podcast? Did you ever see, I gotta do them again. I'm going to be using my channel for better things soon. Jimmy Snow, new Colin show's coming to the Jimmy Snow channel starting soon in vertical format because that it gets us a different audience. Right now we've got the line kind of locked up. We got all the horizontals there. Now we're going to go after the verticals. Those people who live their life vertically. Anyway, it sounds like back pain.
It does.
Did you ever see when I did the like staring into the camera for 20 minutes or something like that without making a sound?
No. Did you do that on a live or did you do that in a recorded video?
One take, recorded video, sitting in silence for X number of minutes. I don't even remember what it was. I got to go find it now because it's actually kind of funny.
What? And you didn't take eye contact away from the camera for 20 minutes?
I probably took eye contact away. I mostly just sat and didn't look at my phone or anything. Just sat. Yeah, sitting in silence for 20 minutes is what it was. And the description just reads Jimmy Snow was born in the dirt. I wanted to see how many views it would get. And it got 7,500. Okay, so that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure most people opened it and then just kept fast forwarding through. Yeah, they were like, what
the fuck?
I think it said my average watch time was like 80 seconds or something. So they were probably just like, does he really stay silent the whole time? Also, I've gone back and I've looked at it and I just physically, societal fat shaming aside, the amount of fat shaming we do to ourselves, because I'm just looking at the difference now, and I'm like looking at that video and I'm like, oh God, I have to redo all of my content as my newer, thinner self. I can't let people know that this exists out there.
There was a picture that I was scrolling through my camera roll, and I don't even know how I could find it again, but it was like from, I don't even know. It had to be like maybe 2 years ago. And it might have been like maybe we were doing like a Zoom or something, but it's a screenshot of us in like a call, and you literally look like a completely different person. You look younger now. It's like really confusing.
Well, that's not surprising. I do have long hair now too. So there's like, it's the whole thing. My beard looks like it had recently, every now and then I would accidentally have this trimming accident where I'd have to bring everything down to the same size, whereas I like to let the chin grow out a little more than the rest. So it gives the illusion of sharper chin. I want to have anime chin. That's what I'm working toward. I'm going to paste this all together down into a point, and then I'm going to look like I'm from anime. If I could then just get down where my mouth doesn't look like it's moving concurrent to the words I'm saying, so I just look perpetually dubbed, that would be amazing.
That would be perfect.
That'd be really good. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I don't know. I think I looked more Irish back then, and now I look more Welsh. I don't know. I got both in me.
I don't know. I'll see the next time I come across it, because I'm sure I will. I have to send it to you, because it was like, even I saw it and I was like, what the? I don't remember you looking like that.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. And now I'm like, we're this far into the show and I haven't made any kind of pervy joke. So you said next time I come across it, I would say, this is becoming a hostile work environment. That is for you to do in your own time. Oh my God. How dare you?
Unbelievable.
What was it you said that beforehand, you always know I'm about to say something. What's the phrase I use before I'm about to say something inappropriate? Before like talking privately, and I was like, oh, I have to tell you something.
Maybe it's by the way. Yeah, it's by the way.
By the way. By the way.
And then I'm like, strap in, something's coming.
Strap in indeed. Strap in.
Right. No.
Maybe strap on.
Right.
Who knows?
Who knows? And who's to say?
Yeah.
Who's to say?
My favorite message of the day was you sending me the message. So what is the line edge for?
Okay, because I was.
Did you not go to the line edge and see?
No,
like,
I did. I saw it was all clips.
Yeah.
No, I saw it was all clips, and I was like, so I was confused about like what how you distinguish what was going where. That was my question. Yeah, like I know like what the line edge is, but I didn't know. Yeah, that it was like just for clips.
It's going pretty good too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so we only try to post clips on days that there aren't live shows, because the algorithm limits how many notifications per period of time. And we already have overlap. Like I'm sure that there are times that, Matt's show on Wednesday night probably interferes with the number of notifications that go out with Takis Thursday, or, day after day, Sunday show with Skep Talk with, but especially anytime where the time is less than 24 hours. So we try to only do clips out on the days we don't have, but that means like, if our average show generates, let's say 3 on average, 3 clips we'd want to put up somewhere, meaning like 3 calls that were long enough, were quality, weren't, the same old masturbatory bullshit. We honestly don't post a lot of the like millionth call of like, how do I change my parents' mind? Like, I don't know. I've never changed my parents' mind on shit. I don't know.
No.
Like, I know how to have conversations with people who aren't your family, but your parents, why do you guys always call me? My parents, Matt's parents, who at the line has successfully deconverted their parents? Not have parents who have deconverted, because that's quite different. But I even think about like, I have 2 brothers and a sister who have fully deconverted. And then I have another sister who's like a wishy-washy sort of hippie Mormon that would have been excommunicated 10 years ago for her views. Who knows? I don't know if it's her or husband holding them more in because of their family, which in a way I would understand that, because it's not an attachment to my side of the family that they're doing it for, but like he might have like a great family. I don't know. anyway, none of them, I would say all of them gained from me the pain, a sparing of the pain of being the first person to leave a big, super fundamentally faithful family. I think that is something they all got from me going first. Other than that, the part I played, in other words, their ability to even come out as non-religious was, I don't know if I'd say paved the way, but like I dug the gravel or whatever that you do before you pave. But they definitely like, there's definitely an advantage.
You cleared the trees.
Being the first one out sucks. Yeah. Being the first one out sucks the most, but everything's going to suck it's going to suck for everybody. But to also have a member of the family who, once you were comfortable, because none of them came to me right at first with it. We'd have conversations along the way and there'd be little doubt things or whatever. But by the time I actually knew they were like doubting, it was when they were finally calling me and telling me like, I left the church completely. Or I'm no longer Mormon. I thought you'd want to know. I'm done with it. All of them had their own independent thing, and none of them credit like some question or debate we had. They might go back to a debate we had in the past and be like, oh, yeah, that one thing kind of bugged me, but it definitely wasn't like their anchor point or something. Or they might be more like, sorry, I was such a douche about it. Though funny, my brother Jason, we have a similar type of, I guess arrogance is the correct word. And he's like, no, I still won those debates back then. I was wrong, but I was still better at debating things. Oh, okay. By the way, I'll remind you, it was me against you and like 4 other siblings, but you're right. The room was on your side, so you must have won. Anyway, it's, that's a long story for no reason.
Any other family trauma you'd like to unpack on the podcast?
If I could just have the rest of the, my dad recently found out my dad has Parkinson's. That's been a whole thing fucking with my head.
No.
So I'm like,
that's sad.
Oh, dude, fuck, I don't want to say I don't care that he has Parkinson's. I'm not glad anybody suffers, and that does suck for him. But to me, it's like people get Parkinson's, and there's no reason why you deserve it more or less than anybody else. I'm thinking about it for my own self. I'm like looking at my hands all the time, just like if I see the slightest tremor, I'm going to the doctor. I'm doing the right thing and making it about myself. I'm
doing the right thing and making it about myself. Yeah. What's a girl to do? You know?
Exactly. Nobody called me to tell me, so it's not like I'm going to call him and be like, oh, my condolences.
My condolences, question mark? Yeah.
As I've gone through health stuff in the past, you've literally held like a 50-foot pole and stayed far away from it, even when I was calling needing rides to treatments and stuff. Nobody could help. But anyway, bummer for you. Probably should have eaten a little better. I don't know. I'm just saying that's Parkinson's is a pretty heavy link to diet.
Yikes.
Really.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah. The number one way to prevent yourself from getting Parkinson's is good diet and activity.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm definitely going to get it because I don't even know if you'd call what I'm on now a good diet. It's just kind of sustenance.
That's what you can tolerate, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a solid vitamin regimen. I'm over calciumed, I think, because all my fingernails keep getting these little white freckles. I think that's what those are for. You know what I'm talking about?
I think you're right. I recently had this conversation with my brother who like is always dealing with mental health stuff. And we were just kind of talking about it. And he's like, unfortunately, movement has been really helpful. And I'm like, I hate to break the news. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Movement's really helpful. Unfortunately.
It really is. Well, and it's one of those things where it's like the people who have been loudest about it are the people who think that cures it. And they're like, just go out and it's the Andrew Tate people. Like, if you're depressed, go do push-ups. And no, that's not going to cure anybody. But also, like, the barrier between a person who may be depressed because of their health and being able to do their first push-up is also much more significant. So you're talking about something that you can do easily that a lot of people can't do. But it does suck where it's literally like, people who, and you don't want to come off as them, but like I have this one person in my life who just kind of reaches out to be like, I'm feeling really depressed and lonely. And I'm like, all right, well, what have you been doing to work on that? And like, Nothing. And I'm like, did you get a new therapist? No. Are you going out? Are you like going out and making friends or at least going on walks? No. Are you doing anything? No. It's like, all right, well, I think we got to the bottom of why you're feeling so depressed.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's hard because I also understand, and like I'm sure you've been here too, where like at a certain point you can be so depressed that doing literally anything is hard. So like making an appointment with a new therapist, finding a new therapist is hard, and fucking taking a shower is hard. So like I get that, and unfortunately, you gotta find a way to get those things together.
No one will do it but you. I will say, if you have sleep apnea and you don't know it, your barrier is also a lot harder than a lot of people's, because even before losing all of the weight, when we finally treated my sleep apnea, the ability to be active went from almost non-existent. It used to be difficult for me to go to walk the 2 blocks, equivalent of 2 blocks to my mailbox, because we have like community mailboxes in Texas in a lot of neighborhoods. And I'm not joking. I used to drive the 2 blocks, or I'd be like, I'll just, when I have to go to the doctor's appointment, I'll just stop at it on the way back. And sometimes on the way back, I'd be like, the amount of energy it's going to be to get out of the car and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, I just don't feel up to it. I'll just go home as I'm driving past it to get home. Sleep apnea is one of those ones where if you are not getting that checked and diagnosed and stuff, you might also be like, there was no amount of activity there that would have, on days that I felt a little bit better, I'd usually do woodworking. And yes, it would make me feel a little bit better all around. But that was fewer and further between because just the ability to move was so reduced.
Yeah.
So then I made low effort content, like sitting in silence for 20 minutes, and he brought it back around. That's what this whole,
oh my God.
That's what this whole thing was about the whole time. Hey, Riverside, if you're going to give me a mini window when I move to other things, but you know that we have to do ad breaks, what if you'd put the little timer in the mini window so I don't have to go back, Riverside?
Yeah, they have a lot of
stuff. Is anybody listening?
So I know. No, we know that.
And it's weird because huge platforms, huge people use them. Like, I think the Lonely Island podcast uses them. Like really big, I think Smartless might even use them. If I remember right, one of them mentioning like, oh, we're syncing it all up on Riverside. Anyway, like I big productions use it, but they're also small enough that you can bully them a little. Like I brought up to them one time, I was like, did you guys know you just say how many recording hours you have, but you don't say how many you've used. There's nowhere where I can go and see how many recording hours I've actually used in a month. And they're like, well, yeah, not a big deal though, because even if you go over, it's only going to prevent, you can still record more. You just can't export it in some kind of way. And I was like, first of all, I have no idea what you are saying right now. But also that's literally illegal. Like there is laws that if you give a thing like minutes on a cell phone plan, you have to be able to look at it within a reasonable amount of time and see how much you have remaining. And they were like, oh, we didn't know that. We'll look into that. Within a week, they added where you could actually see how many hours you have.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, do I need to just make a feature list and context these? But then I also mentioned, I was like, you guys are making us export the combined things in 24 frames per second, but we can download the individual videos and timeline in 29 per second. Everybody doing online internet stuff is doing the equivalent of 30 frames per second. 24 frames per second is what movies are shot in. But you are limiting us to that 24 frames per second. I know it's for bandwidth, it's for data size, but it's not that big of a difference, 24 to 30. And you're basically taking us out of the industry standard for that reason. Like, give me an option where for $1 more a month, my frame rate doesn't have to be freaking weird. You guys are weirdos. Stop being such weirdos. Anyway.
Oh my God. Maybe
I pulled a little hangnail out of my fingernail and now it's bleeding.
I'm sorry. I do that all the time. At some point. Maybe you should send them a feature list and be like, this is just general feedback because I love your product and I think this would make this better.
They'd be like, you've been pretty mean to us in some of our previous encounters, so we don't think you love our product. Because they seriously, like, at times we're like, guys, we do a podcast that's news related. It has to be released on time. And your glitch is causing us a 3-day delay right now. Like, but you're losing us money and our algorithmic favor and the expectation our audience has of these things going out reasonably. And then we had multiple episodes that we're so busted because of features they don't tell us we have to work around, ways these things happen. So it was like, it's our fault because we could have fixed it by doing something preventative and we didn't, kind of their sort of reasoning.
Yeah.
We just didn't put those episodes out because they would have taken too long to edit. They were so busted. So whatever. What's going on in your life?
Well, I, per your suggestion, uploaded some of the clipped calls from Chewed Gum onto my own YouTube channel because I would like to get it monetized at some point, and like that's content that's just sitting there. And one video in particular has gotten some really nasty comments. I think it has like 80 comments on it, and like pretty much all of them are awful.
You want to read through and roast some of these bad boys?
Wait, yeah, let's look.
Kevin said, "Thank you, Jesus Christ, that I found." So the video is called Dweeb tells us women need to lower their standards.
Flawless title.
And it's an iconic clip of yours. I remember the clip because it's one of it's. I don't watch all the stuff we put out, but I remember this one. And the guy was definitely all like, basically. My favorite part, either you or Promise asked, like, and then what do we get if we do all of that? What do we get for lowering our standards? Like me. And it's like,
no, my favorite part, was when I said to him, I was like, okay, so you're telling me women are only going after the top tier of men, whatever the fuck that means. And those men get so many women that they don't want to like settle down with anyone. So those women are like getting fucked and left. And then what are those women supposed to do? Like, they've gone after the top tier. They've been selective. They're not promiscuous. They've gone after the top tier. What is the expectation for them? And he just went, women have to lower their standards. And I was like, that's what I thought. You want women to lower their standards. And then I was like, I'm sorry, to be clear, you want women to lower their standards to get a better result? Like, do you understand how that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard? What are you talking about?
The funny thing is, like, if we're going to be real in a way that'll probably piss off both sides of this argument, where someone will be like, Jimmy's kind of, but I give a shit because people are, it's one of those things where it's like these movements are effective because they will find something true and then turn it into something terrible. The fact of the matter is, no matter what gender you are, when you start dating, if that's what you're interested in, you start going for as high as you think you can pull off. And then sure, especially men, when they realize they can't pull as high as they feel like they deserve, will adapt their standards and start, quote unquote, seeing what they can get instead of what they want.
I guess, but
the whole point is, like, it's not as though men are better in that scenario because it's literally wherever they start somewhere and then they move and then they finish where they end up wherever they're having success. Women are doing the same thing in their theoretical model. Women are doing the same thing, and he's mad that the place they find success is higher than them, but they work on themselves. They like fucking do shit. They go to therapy at a higher rate. And they bother to sit there and go like, what are my minimum standards? Where dudes, I've only ever heard guys say the phrase like, oh, just throw flour on her and fuck the wet spots. Shit, phrases like that.
I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Because you've been around more women, I assume. Oof. Or at least women, the men you've been around.
What does that even mean?
It's supposed to be encourage guys to bang very large women because in their brain, they're like, what matters is that you got your dick wet. So no matter how big they are, just throw flour on them and then that'll help you locate where.
Oh my
Yeah, it's a super misogynistic thing. But so anyway, it's literally like, of course, no matter who you are, you're going to be like, all right, I want to date somebody as fun as possible, funny as possible, attractive as possible, interested in me as possible, as I want to be as interested in them as possible. Like, who's not going to start there? And then when you start being a fucking little weirdo creep, which sometimes isn't your fault, sometimes it's because your church won't let you jerk off and stop being just a weirdo around people. Like literally, sometimes the number of guys that I've been around, and in high school I recognized it where I'm like, oh, this dude needs to jerk off. He's being so weird right now. Go masturbate. You will come back and people will be like,
you'll be a different person.
Pleasant. Like,
refreshed. No, you're so right.
Will like you more if you would just go jerk off and stop making this their problem.
No, so true. So true.
And
But what I kind of don't understand is like, I have a hard time believing that all women are going after the same group of people. Like, I would rather drink gasoline than date someone who works in finance, because it's just like we're gonna have probably nothing to talk about. And it's like, my current boyfriend is a bisexual musician. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's certainly mine. And like, I have no interest.
The amount it's hers, she does. If you don't shut up about it, you know what I'm saying? In the same way I don't shut up about mine. Like,
I love him so much. He's perfect. And so like, I literally, I don't know. I have a hard time believing and like buying that it's the same like 10% that like, I buy that women are swiping right on 10% of profiles. I don't buy that it's the same 10%. You know?
I like, see. You're saying the overlap or whatever. I don't know. The problem is do dating apps even tell you about broader shit in the first place? Like, dating apps are built so you will be on dating apps. So they're not built to make you find the love of your life, because then you'll find the love of your life and you'll never come back to the app, right? So unless we're talking about something like eHarmony or something where they actually put that effort in, but they charge you way more because they do think you're going to be there only once or twice and then gone. If we're talking about Tinder is built on like, let's make this as quick a process to getting you laid, getting your heart breaking, getting you heartbroken, and getting you back on. Let's make this as shallow as possible, but let's participate in the like amping you up process as much as possible along the way. And I don't know. I don't have a problem believing that it's probably like the top 10% are getting like 90, the top 20% are getting whatever. I know, my own experiences based on the different ways I've looked over the years. I've had different amounts of success, seemingly the only difference being whether or not I was physically more attractive, or unfortunately, whether or not the number of times I was trying to come up with a way that I could just say like, hey, did you swipe on me because you vibe with me or because you like my YouTube channel?
Really?
I didn't actually start saying that, but like one of the first things I was trying to figure out, because I wasn't interested in dating like super fans who were like, oh my God, it's Jimmy Snow.
Wow. I can't believe they like found you on the dating apps and everything.
Yeah. And there was, I dated one woman who, she was like, no, I definitely have seen you, but I couldn't tell you what the name of one of your video was. And I ended up dating her because she was like honest about that. She was aware I had a platform, but that she liked my beard or something. But that relationship ended up being really horrible. So maybe lesson learned on my part. That was a bad. Yeah. Anyway, should we, I dare you to clip this part of the podcast and put it on your episode on your channel, just like roasting the Giga Chads in my comments or something.
I would love to. Genuinely, so that actually, I might do that because I think that would be really funny.
Should we read more?
So, one of the top comment right now is, did anyone else noticed past tense, how many times these women interrupted him when he was leading to solutions? And then I said,
you keep charitably improving the sentence. You did it multiple times. Let me read it as is. Did everyone else notice how many times these women interrupted him when he was leading to the solutions?
Right.
Yeah.
So I responded, I said, we heard the solution of lowering our standards loud and clear. And then someone else said, do a pod without makeup. I dare you. And I said, we already have. There's specifically an episode from last year where we address it. But I often go on this show and our podcast with no makeup on, or like almost no makeup on, or make almost no makeup that I put on at 8 a.m. So by the time we do the podcast, it's gone. And then I said, attacking my looks is the lowest bar. So if that's all you got, I feel pretty good. And she said, playing the victim based on... Oh, I don't know.
That's a celebrity's picture of a woman. Let's not pretend we actually think this is a woman.
All right, yeah, it's definitely a man. Playing the victim based on words that I haven't written is some kitty stuff. I can't be bothered to check that video, but fair play for doing that. You do cake it on. Literally? Where do I cake it on? Although that's like, honestly, that's grease. But there's nothing on my hand, and I shouldn't have to prove that.
I'm going to have to change to my Jimmy. I don't want the line to represent, the comment I'm about to leave on this person.
I'm so scared.
Okay, they said you do cake it on, and I'm about to write back. Let me find that one again.
You're doing it for your Jewish.
Your relationship with cake is why you can't get dates, bro. Oh, it's mean. I know, people. Look, I know.
Oh my God.
I know it's mean, but
Oh, wait. Okay, so someone else said, well, keep chasing the top 20%. Y'all are just sharing the same men at this point. Is that supposed to be a burn? Because that just means that, like, you have just outed yourself as someone who doesn't get laid. And then, like, all of the hot, fun people are just fucking each other. That's what you've just described to me. Like, that sounds great.
Do you think sharing is a negative in, like, the look, I'm not going to presume I'm in the top 20%, but, like, the sharing concept is not, what is it? See, here's the thing these guys' minds can't get past. Just blows their mind. Is that you might not be looking for a husband. You might have, or you might have been dating for the last however long. I don't remember. I was going to guess. I don't know why I was going to add a year. You might have been dating for the last whatever years and been like, I like my life as this. If a husband comes along, cool, but I'm not looking for it. Yeah. Which is how a lot of people date, where it's like, look, I'm looking for a companion. I'm looking for fun. I'm looking for sex. I'm looking for whatever the thing you're looking for is, but it doesn't have to be, I'm looking for, there are some people who are looking for just sex, but then they don't even have like good sex with people. So at a certain point, they might start looking for good sex, and that might change how often their partners change. And then there are people who are looking for different types of companionship or a different frequency of companionship. There are people out there who are like, I'd like a weekend girlfriend.
Yeah, but all of this threatens the value of shitty men to women who don't give a fuck. Women who are like, I actually could take or leave this experience, and I can get my own credit card, my own house, my own car, because now women are starting to like outpace men in many areas of life. So in spite of the odds being stacked against us. And now these type of men, obviously not all of them, these type of men feel so threatened and so scared. And so it like, they can't even, this is what they have to do instead. Like, there was someone else who said, God bless these women. They clearly have the Jezebel spirit controlling them. And honestly, two of the most immature women on the net, hence why they're single.
Neither of you are single.
So I can't. First of all,
Promise is married.
Promise is married. Yeah. I always have for the past couple of years, it just has been the way it is. I'm not doing it on purpose, but I've had boyfriends back to back. So like, that's crazy. And I commented back and I said, neither of us are single. And they just said, I bet. I'm like, I don't know what to say. So like, the people in this comment section. And then someone said, this man is right about everything, but he should have came more prepared with a list of sources and statistics to shut them up. And I said, call the show with your sources and statistics and try to shut us up yourself, Matthew. And then someone else said, I didn't see you all reference one source. Nobody didn't talk about sources. Nobody asked.
We're having a fucking conversation.
We're having a conversation.
It's literally like, am I meant to stop? First of all, people already complain we talk too much. Am I meant to say a statement and then be like, by the way, and then here's the link? Do you know how many fucking times? Ask for a source. We'll give a source. Give a shit, dude.
Also, like, the thing that's so crazy about these comments is I have sat here in the past couple of days and giggled. Like, I've been laughing. Literally, when we like got on this call, like before we started recording, I was like, this is giving me like, I'm kind of getting like high from this. And I have scheduled YouTube videos in the future. And one of them I like pushed to go out earlier because I was like, I want to see what else this is going to do. So like, if you think the comments are upsetting me, I am so sorry to say. I have been called every name on the book on the internet as it is. And I know who I am and like what my value is in this earth. And I would never in a million years go on someone else's video and comment the stupid shit that you guys are click-clacking on my video. I'm busy. I'm booked and busy and getting paid to be booked and busy. So I don't know, keep yapping, keep flapping your gums. Although I will say I'm like a little reactive. Like if I see it, like when I first posted it and I started seeing these comments, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking get them. And then I was like, this is not worth it, obviously. Because when they said these women are obviously single and I said, we're neither of us are. And they said, I bet. I'm like, oh, okay, I just remembered. I was like, what am I doing? I can't do this. Anyway, yeah, it's been a crazy time. And we'll just see. We'll just see how. And ultimately, thank you for the engagement. I'm getting one step closer to being monetized. You know, blessings for us all in with my Jezebel spirit that I apparently have.
I love your Jezebel spirit.
Thank you.
Man, years ago, we did this in response to, I think, Lori Alexander talking about Jezebels. We did like a slutty Halloween costume Instagram hashtag called #like a Jezebel. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Or maybe it was just people putting on makeup. Yeah, #like a Jezebel. It was good. It was a good time. These were good times.
I love that. Yeah. So if you need a giggle, go to my YouTube channel and watch that video. Scroll through those comments. Giggle away. All these silly little men.
On YouTube. LJUB. Just so y'all know when you go looking for it. I love the very bottom comment is, he's not wrong. Wow. Amazing contribution.
I know. It's also crazy because that conversation in particular, it wasn't like what you're talking about, like abortion. Like, it's like, to me, very cut and dry. You're asking women to lower their standards because you yourself are not getting laid. That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. So like for anyone to go into that conversation and be like, everything he said is right. I'm like, oh.
I like the person questioning if you asked why divorce is bad. And I love that people, and the next person was like, right? And so they're like, no. Answer why. Answer why it is inherently bad. Don't answer, here's an anecdote of why some person there have been people who have had very amicable divorces, very healthy divorces. Divorce is also good for people in abuse situations. So why is it just that the concept of like, if the rate of divorce gets higher, that must mean something is wrong? Doesn't that mean more people have independence? And you guys probably pretend that you like independence, right? Like you guys probably pretend you like freedom. You're probably all over MAGA boards and shit pretending you like the Constitution. Why don't you want freedom where people who don't want to be in a marriage anymore don't have to be?
So another comment, this was one of my favorite reply moments because this person said, Sivorce, which was supposed to be divorce. Yeah. Sivorce does the same thing to kids as fighting does. I was present in both. And I said, I'm so sorry to hear about your experience. I can tell you from a broader perspective, there's a wealth of evidence to show that children exposed to things like emotional abuse, instability in the household, and of course violence, often have more severe psychological and emotional consequences than children whose parents go through a divorce, which should say an amicable divorce.
No, but I mean, the overall statistic is still going to be just divorce in general. What percentage of divorced kids versus kids of abuse? Yeah, like
And I then I said, here are some studies in case you're interested. I gave 3 sources. One of them was from 2003, which like, okay, but the other one is 2016, 2009. They're in like the most, I just wasn't, whatever. I found the sources and I just like,
when they're studied. By
exactly.
Like, there's not a new study every year for this shit.
Right. Someone else from somewhere else who was like trying to talk shit in the comment section, Tom, whatever, said, holy crap, are you struggling to find sources that you're pulling stuff from 2003? It's hard to read comments when people don't know how to speak English. I'm like, you are actually illiterate, and I'm trying to read your comment, and I've provided 3 different sources that are APA cited, but you literally can't write in English, and you're going to tell me, okay. And then I said, here are 10 more recent ones. One from 2019, another from 2019, one from 2018, another from 2019, 2020, 2022, 2021, 2021, 2023, 2018.
Tom goes real quiet every time he gets embarrassed instead of acknowledging like, oh, actually, I was wrong on this one. Just goes quiet. Like, you may as well, everyone sees that you know you're wrong. So why not admit it and take the L and look like a person with some integrity?
No.
They ain't never gonna.
Literally, they would rather die. They would rather die than be a person who has any sort of integrity at all, and then they're going to stomp their feet and say that it's women's problem that they don't want to be sleeping with them. Maybe it's because you're a fucking loser. Maybe that's
Tom,
the reason.
You're the reason you're so alone.
Yes.
And you can change it.
Behavior.
You can literally change.
I saw someone on
People
TikTok
are begging you to.
We need to start doing this more. This is how I feel about Tom. We're bringing it back.
I always worry about putting up the wrong one, and so then it's like the L's pointed at me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Wait.
You put up the wrong. It's like
I don't actually. Do you do your right one or your left?
If you put your right one up, that should broadcast an L to. I don't fucking know. I don't have that kind of spatial awareness. Get out of here with that nonsense. We'll be right back.
Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove they were supporting this podcast right from the beginning? Well, you can. Head over to linemerch.com. That's linemerch.com and pick up some founders merch for The Line Has a Podcast that will only be available for a short time and features the rough draft drawn logo that soon will be updated to look less like it was drawn by a 3-year-old. That's linemerch.com. This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove...
And welcome back. Did news happen this week? Because if it has, I haven't heard of it. Was there news?
Yeah, I'm sure there has been. Let's do a little look see.
Some musicals.
Oh my god. There is someone in my Instagram DMs. I'm so sorry. I opened up my Instagram and there's someone in my Instagram DMs who, I don't want to get him in trouble, but like he used to work for Netflix and he's like trying to like slide in my DMs in a way that is so inappropriate. Now it's inappropriate. But I tried to hit on him a long time ago and he rejected me and now he's trying to be in my DMs.
Does he know you have a boyfriend? And is he just jumping through, just ignoring the relationship?
He just posted he has a girlfriend recently. That's why I'm like, this is really inappropriate now.
Are you just going to... For me, I'm like, I feel like people articulate the way messages are, but then they try to go and like play the game and I'm like, just write exactly what you just said. Just be like, hey, so you know I have a boyfriend. I know you have a girlfriend. I also know you know that this is inappropriate. And I want to make sure you acknowledge and see this message before you get blocked because you earned it yourself.
Yeah. It's...
Because the normal way these people get like shoved off, none of that shit like fucking works on them anymore. It's like the iocane powder in Princess Bride. They've built up an immunity because they're drinking that poison all day. Talk down to them like a professor who's also kind of their mom, and they will hold themselves while they go to sleep. Also, just be like, the screenshots in case I ever feel like your girlfriend needs to be warned.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. And he like just posted about her recently. But anyway, okay,
send it to her. Send it to her. Be like, hey,
I don't want to get involved.
I'm a girl who looks out for the girls, and I don't know.
I know.
I don't know what to do with this.
I just don't want to involve myself in drama like that. And that's shitty because like ultimately I do want to be on the side of the girls, but
I just don't know. This was kind of like a thing I talked about with my current partner where her DMs would go like crazy and people would say like some shit and she'd just be like, haha, back. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. You have to know that the mind of man, haha, means you just said to them, like, there's a chance you might get your penis in.
No, it's so true. You have to close the door.
And
you
that's
have
what I'm saying,
to
like,
close the door.
One, if you say nothing, they will be back. And two, if you say nothing, they will do it to somebody else. It's like,
my
do
response
it for the future girl if you can't do it for you.
Yeah, my response is likely going to just be like, because he basically said like, I should have type of thing. Without explaining the whole conversation, I should have, essentially is what he said. And I'm just going to be like, well, missed opportunity. And now we're both so happy in relationships. So no need to worry about that.
Well, will you send me a screen? Can I see it? Will you send me a screenshot? I want to read through this thing. Because what I would literally say back, I think, to that would be, I would like you to read what you just said to me as though you're reading your girlfriend saying it to another man. And once I know you've done that, I'm going to block you. Like, just punish, you guys punish their bad behavior. The worst they'll do is murder you. Oh, fuck. That's why they do that. Shit. Guys, somebody actually tried to argue with me the other day on the thing I said, which I'm like, look, it's a little tongue in cheek, but I'm sorry. I really do feel that way, that like the way an extremely toxic man will just try to murder me is my preference over what an extremely toxic woman would do trying to systemically destroy my life. It's the difference between being stabbed or being poisoned. I'd rather get stabbed than poisoned, like all day long. And a guy will stab you, a woman will. These are somewhat cliches, but statistically, there's a lot that supports them. And the way in which like the most toxic men are toxic, as a man being treated by men in that fashion, I would way rather be completely hated by a man by a toxic man than completely hated by a toxic woman. I'm far more afraid of toxic women than I am toxic men.
Well, yeah, I kind of like tuned out to what you were saying because I was like looking at that conversation. But I always say that like if I had a choice of having a boy or a girl child, I would want to have a boy because I'm a little bit scared of what girls can do. The psychological takedown, like the takedown from the inside.
That's what I'm saying.
Boys are just like rolling around in dirt, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. I think he's gonna, I don't know. I'm like,
do you think that wasn't
I'd be like, I no. I think
really?
You gotta punish him. Okay. I think you gotta be like, on second thought, I've been thinking about this, and I think that it's gonna feel weird when I show this conversation to my boyfriend, and I hope you're gonna show it to your girlfriend. And I think you should absorb how it makes her feel and change your behavior based on that.
Wait, okay, so I'll tell the pod what I actually said, which was missed opportunity, but now we're both happy and in love.
Yeah, I feel like, again, being a man, I feel like he's going to read it as like, yeah, missed opportunity. But, you know, that way, in his mind, I think it's more of going to be like, but, you know, it's a long life, as your boyfriend likes to say.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I love when
next time it comes around, I'm saying that window is open when you don't feel like you're communicating that. But guys, like dudes.
Relentless.
Give them an inch, they'll take a mile was invented for men. Like it really was. Like just the possibility of like, all you have to do is change the tone and it sounds more reminiscent. And because text messages do lack tone, it's almost, to him, he's going to be like, oh, she regrets it just as much, but wouldn't make her current relationship, wouldn't jeopardize it. And, you know, I probably wouldn't either, even though this message is me fully trying to see if there's a way we can end up.
I wouldn't, but what if you would? Then I might. Like that.
Right.
It's hard because like, you know, when you're reading stuff in your own voice, like I don't know, I guess I could be like a little naive about how people are reading it, but
should we get to like the big story?
We should. Okay. I think we need to talk about how the Epstein list has mysteriously disappeared.
What are you talking about?
Has mysteriously disappeared.
We've
been talking about this for years.
And Trump promised he was going to release it. Pam Bondi, like, it's on my desk. I'm reviewing it right now. And now she's trying to claim it meant the investigation was on. Not that the list was, even though we were directly asked about the list, the investigation was on. Apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison because fashion police maybe got her. She wore some crazy pantsuits. I don't know if y'all saw. And Jeffrey Epstein killed himself over bagels. Could have been bagels.
Bad day. Probably, you know what?
He's a New York financier. Probably got a bad bagel.
Lack of movement.
Oh, he probably was. Yeah. Wasn't moving around much.
Wasn't moving around enough. Did you see the clip at the press conference when someone asked Trump about the list and he immediately was like,
"You're still talking about
this? We're still talking about this? What are you talking about?" Like,
you know, we've got all these things going on: the tariffs, the Texas, this tragedy in Texas, and you want to talk about a creep like Jeffrey Epstein?
Me when I get caught is we're still talking about this? We want to talk about this? We have so much other stuff going on. We're talking about this?
There's so many more important things than you're holding the knife in that dude's stomach. Are you still talking about this? Like, oh my God.
Crazy.
Let me just wash that off. You could not seem more like you are on the Epstein client list. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it's been. Oh, has it only been since Elon said you were on the list? Than to now be all like, what list? There's no list. You know, it's going to be. And even he apparently had seen stuff because they had asked him on an interview before he was elected, would you release the Epstein thing? Yes, but maybe not all of it because, you know, there's a lot of fake things in there. There's a lot of fake things in all of that. And there's accusations that could be fake that might be distracting to, like, he already has alluded to the idea that he has seen people in there that he doesn't want to see go down. I have no idea whether or not he banged kids on Epstein Island or that Epstein procured for him. And by no idea, I mean a pretty solid inkling that he did. But I'm going to go with no idea. I'm just saying he looks guilty. It's literally like, this is, at this point, the only thing, I'm waiting for him to come out with a ukulele singing about not being a pedophile. You remember when somebody tried that? And I think it turned out that she wasn't a pedophile. So this is like the perfect example. If you're not a pedophile, I don't remember. Did she turn out she wasn't? That she was like inappropriate, but not actually a pedophile? Was that what the deal was?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. The ukulele apology is iconic though.
People, before you like go crazy in my fucking comments, the amount I don't live online, you should all be. I live on the news. I do not live in YouTube fucking drama, any of that stuff.
This is years old drama.
I have to have people give me bullet points and basically be like, did anything so significant happen that I need to worry about mentioning them as something I saw at some point? And I had no idea who this lady was before she was accused of being a pedophile. But look, if you come out with a ukulele and sing a song about not being a pedophile, it looks a lot like Frank when he made his song about not being a pedophile on Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
My little kids have to be big, bigger than my wife, bigger than my daughter. That's what it looks like. And if you come out after being named on the Epstein list, after years of everybody talking about, let's see the client list is out there, after acknowledging the existence of the client list, and then suddenly you're like, what are you talking about, Jeffrey Epstein? This thing that I promised. So who is Jeffrey Epstein anyway? I've never met the guy. Those videos of me at parties seem to be me and some other. That's not even Jeffrey. I think those pictures don't exist. Those videos, they don't exist. They were made by AI in 2001. Like, you couldn't seem more guilty unless you were like bouncing a child on your lap at that moment too.
Yeah.
Like if you had a child on your lap and you were pretending to be Santa in July, that would pretty much be
the only way you could look more guilty. I'm trying to think of how,
if you make your news conference out of the back of a van that has free candy written on the side, a Santa display that you are sat on with a child in your lap, a mustache. He can't really grow facial hair, is my understanding, but like a singular mustache that firemen sometimes think looks good. You guys look like pedophiles. What are you doing? The mustache.
The handlebar?
I don't think it's even a handle. I think it just stops right there, and it's like,
oh, okay.
It's kind of bushy. It's a little.
Okay.
Anyway, and you're bouncing a kid, asking them what they want, and then you say, "I'm not a pedophile. Frankly, pull out." Hit it, Giannis. And then there's some guy named Giannis is on a piano playing doodle-doo-doodle-doo. These are the reasons I'm not a pedophile. I can't get it up anymore without medication. Maybe that would be, I don't know how to make it look more.
This was a journey.
That isn't a total cartoon caricature of a thing. Like,
yeah.
You're next to Pam Bondi, who supposedly had the list on her desk. Elon just said you're on the list. Somebody asked Pam Bondi, because it wasn't even a question to him. The question was to Pam. And they were asking, like, why'd you say the list was on your desk and then now you're saying there's not? Are you still, let me just intercept this right here because people have been saying I'm on that list. What list? Why are we still talking about it? We need to talk about these girls in Texas that I also didn't protect because that is a pattern in my life.
Yes. What I also think is interesting too is like, unfortunately, I don't even think that list would have convinced any of like the MAGA cult members
It
any
might now.
different.
It might now if it came out. If it came out now after he said the list doesn't exist and included people that like, look, you know who's looking like they probably might it does not look good for Bill Gates right now.
Yeah. Which,
I don't know if
like,
did you see Melinda Gates' interview where she was like, that's why I divorced him, because he was spending all of his time with Jeffrey Epstein. He would spend and I said, I don't like you being around him. He wouldn't stop the friendship. I divorced him over that.
Well, good for her. Good for her. Good for her. And
don't know if he went to the island. Don't know if that means what else it might mean. But that's.
But if anybody who went to the island, regardless of who they are, should be in jail. Like, you need to be prosecuted for that. Like,
I mean, obviously, like the actual legal standard would be you went to the island and it can be proved that you participated in the sex trafficking while you were there, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're saying is the whole package, like nobody went. He became that rich and that known for it amongst rich people, but nobody was using, nobody took advantage. I don't know why I'm turning into Trump as I'm doing. It's just, it's not believable.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
The Line doesn't have a podcast. This podcast doesn't exist, people. What podcast? You didn't see a podcast.
No, what podcast?
I want somebody to like call the show and be like, also on your podcast, you mentioned, I'm like, I don't have a podcast. What are you talking about?
What podcast?
I would seem like
I've never had a podcast.
There is no way for me to more obviously have a podcast than deny it like that. It just.
Did you also? Okay, I need to change gears for a second because I need to run this by you. Because did you see that there's a alpha male influencer, Nick Adams, and Trump has nominated him as the U.S. ambassador for Malaysia.
Did that actually happen, though? So Nick Adams is kind of a caricature.
He nominated him. I don't know. Okay. That doesn't mean
is this by his own... Did Nick Adams announce this on Twitter?
No.
Because Nick Adams lies about a lot. There's a lot of argument about whether or not he's real.
Like not AI?
No, there's definitely a real guy behind him, but it's like it's like a whole fake thing. The things Nick Adams posts are parody level crazy. Where he's like, nothing's better than a foursome with the boys. But then he'll also say something else like super erotic. But then he's like, oh, I'm talking about golf. Yeah.
He's Australian, but he's... Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's The
Hill and Politico.
Now. Okay. Then this is wild. Because this guy is fucking... He was also the guy who was like, children should not be playing Fortnite. They should only be outdoors playing sport or inside reading the Bible.
Yeah, I remember
reading the Bible. It's... Anyway, sorry, Malaysia. Really, really sorry. I can't imagine. I will watch every moment of the Senate hearings if they publicize the Senate hearings asking, because technically he has to go through Senate confirmation. If they do hearings and don't just try to like push them through, I will watch every minute of that because I want to know how much of that is real.
I would like to know if he is
gay.
If he has a partner.
Here's the thing. I think he is.
Does he have a partner publicly?
He pretends. Oh, I don't think so. He pretends to be.
They never.
He'll get like a hot girl with him, and he'll be like, be an alpha male, never be a beta, so you'll be able to get a hot babe like this. And
that he paid to be there, I'm sure.
Sometimes it's literally a cardboard cutout of Melania. I'm not even joking.
Oh my God.
Is Nick Adams married?
Why is it that all of these alpha males are single? The call is coming from inside the house.
Never married, never had children. There's this one video he put out forever ago where he was like, this is how an alpha male is greeted by his boys. And it's him showing up to a bar and he's wearing like a light colored dress shirt with a sweater tied over his shoulders kind of thing. You know what I'm talking, like the super preppy look. And one after another, the most homoerotic hugs from each of these men you've either seen. Everybody just beaming. Everyone gets up one at a time. Oh, it's Nick. Oh, Nick. Oh, get on in here. And it's just, I'm down
for men hugging. I'm down for men hugging in a homoerotic way, but then that doesn't mean you can turn around and then be like, oh, I'm an alpha male. I don't know how to do that. And you can't
claim you're straight if the way you hug involves a little bit of anal sex. Okay.
Oh, no, that's true.
That was part of it.
If you're touching holes, Nick Adams
Nick Adams has to hug with a condom on. Okay. Y'all understand? Nick Adams takes prep before he hugs. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Okay, people? That's what's going on right now.
Which
he takes prep.
If it's consensual, that's fine. But then you can't come onto the internet and talk about how you're an alpha male.
Look, I wish he would just come out and be himself. Like all this self-loathing that he has. I'm looking at recent photos of him. The things that he said. Pro tip, anyone who needs to feel the need to tell you that he's an alpha male is not an alpha male. But his name tag is Nick Adams alpha male. Like,
shut up. Where?
The
on
man,
what?
It was for a long time on Twitter. That's how I initially found him, was Nick Adams parentheses alpha male. I don't think he has that in there anymore, but he did for the longest time. Can confirm, saw it for myself. I gotta tell you this. And listen, if you're listening right now, I would love to hear your input in the comments. You tell me if this is okay. Yep.
He wrote a book called Alpha Kings.
He also wrote a book about Trump. I want to say like, it might have been called something like Trump is awesome. What was the name of his book about Trump? I'm having a problem, okay? And I want your input and I want the audience's input on it. From Mar-a-Lago to Mars is one of them. Trump and Churchill, defenders of Western civilization. Trump and Reagan, defenders of America. These are his six. Okay, here's the thing. Twitter is not going anywhere, people. The hope was that by migrating off of Twitter, it would fail. But the fact of the matter is Twitter is now valuable, not as a literal asset, right? Obviously, it depreciated in value, but through mobilizing and using Twitter as the communication arm from both the Republicans and Elon Musk basically bought the ability to buy elections, to have a massive public broadcasting service. And he has made many more billions of dollars off of that, separate from what the actual value is, way more off of getting Trump elected, getting Republicans elected, becoming their darling, all through what he's done with Twitter. He's made way more than he lost. So Twitter, is, as much as we want to make fun of him for how bad it's doing, and just keep doing that, but the value to him personally he definitely won that. Like, I don't know what to say, people. Like, he has way too much influence. He is a bit of a kingmaker. We'll see if he survives his Trump battle and this whole third party thing. But even the possibility of that being successful will be potentially because he bought Twitter. So Twitter has paid off for him in spades, way more than whatever it's lost. And now it's honestly, I want to know, should I get back on Twitter? Because I'm like, Threads, it's all the bottom of the barrel. And I'm like, that's where they are. That's where it's a Nazi social media site, but I also want to fight Nazis. And I can't go, I'm not grabbing a gun and a bayonet, right? I have my words.
If you want to be fighting the Nazi, like if you want to see that, then go there. But so like for me, I have a Twitter account. I never check it because every time I do, it just like bums me out and I
deleted all my old Twitter stuff. Yeah.
I can't take it. So I don't know. I think like for mental health reasons, I can.
Anonymously, but people might figure out it's me at some point when I'm like constantly being like, yo, call this show. If you guys are so fucking brave, why aren't you calling? Because that's another thing.
As far as like
sourcing calls and shit and like going and debating in places, I feel like we're missing so much opportunity from just going. But then at the same time, I'm also like, Yeah, but then you go to Twitter and then too many of them show up all at once and you're like, oh, fuck, they're at my door.
Right.
They came with bayonets.
You know what I
don't
just
know.
realized? The likelihood of, because I was just like closing some apps on my phone, the likelihood of someone responding to your comment on my video and being like, and saying something about how like you're also perpetually single or something. The fact that all of us are in the happiest relationships of our lives. Never gets old.
I'm also like, bro, whenever people like that try to talk down to me or they say something like, she's not going to sleep with you. And I'm like, she might not, but many people have for the fact that I am this way. Many the women you wish would fuck you, I fucked. Literally them specifically, all of them. Like I've not done purely for myself and I didn't do it by being a fucking fascist Chad lover. I don't know how to use the word Chad, to tell you the truth. I don't get into their incel thing. I never did it by being an incel and badgering women into loving me because I just can't get fucking shit from them. So I'm waiting for those comments to be like those people who would be like, she's not going to sleep with you. And part of me wants to make the joke of like, do you mean again? We haven't, for the record.
I know, you've been waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah. Do you mean she won't again? Or what are you saying? That would be the most fun thing.
Someone
I don't give a damn who call it what you want. I call it like I see it, literally 304s, and your wrong use of a simp
Who
apparently.
said this? This is in response to you?
I don't give a damn who
I knew it. We knew it.
What you want.
We literally called it. They're so predictable.
You see like shit, my boy.
Oh my God.
You see like shit, my boy. I know you won't call cause you a scaredy bitch. I'm gonna do biatch.
Yeah, girl.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Anyway, the only news we were covering today, oh man, did you also see did you see Alex Jones break down into tears about it?
Yes.
I love this country and I believe in Trump, but right now it's looking real bad.
That was crazy. So Alex Jones breaking down in tears. We have Joe Rogan, who's also starting to change his fucking tune, with Bono on the podcast for some reason. I'm hoping and praying that this continues a little avalanche of there being fewer and fewer public Trump supporters, because I'm hoping that at least just takes the people who are like on the fence or on the fringe of it away from MAGA. You know, the people who are like, I voted that way because my grandma did or whatever, and I don't really know, but I like the hype around it, like that guy who called the show. Like that group, I'm hoping gets pulled away when they're like, ugh, even Joe Rogan's not into him anymore. Alex Jones? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
crying in his car.
Alex Jones is crying while trying to figure out how to still love Trump. And like, is still like, and this is a terrible thing, but Biden, but let's not forget about Biden. I gotta get back in on my Bidens.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, Kristi Noem took 3 days to send search and rescue to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what's his face said, the governor of my state, douchebag McDouchery, Greg Abbott said, prayers might have been what stopped the water from rising even higher. Bro, it rose literally dozens of feet and killed people, you fucking idiot.
24 inches in 30 minutes.
I'm not going to make a joke about how he wishes he could rise 24 inches because he is it's like one of those things where I'm like, it's not okay to make ableist jokes about terrible fucking people. But I really want to. You know what I mean? Because he's a terrible person.
It's hard.
Yeah. Well, I've already done it in a way, so y'all can enjoy that. I think the show's over. I don't know. We'll go to the bonus show and talk about cocaine. No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have no Haven't done it in so long. I mean, never.
Never.
I never did, and it was never awesome.
Right. And I've always said
there's a time and place for everything, and it's called college.
Yeah.
Nah,
it was like,
ruin your life.
I was underwhelmed, I'll be honest.
Probably have bad stuff. What you need is a solid addiction, and then you'll get it.
Right.
Then you'll get it.
I tried it literally one time, and I was like, this is kind of lame. And then I was like, you know what? If that's the experience I had, that's the experience I had. I'm not trying to test it. I was like, maybe I just don't like it. What you need is
to not also be treating your, like, any kind of mental stuff with stimulants, like legally. And so it basically just acts like medication, and then you miss it because you're like, oh, I felt normal.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Sorry.